Big 12 football teams don't play defense. I hear it all the time, and I'm sick of hearing it. I'm putting that narrative to bed. Let's talk about it. What is up, college sports fans, fellow members of Mountaineer Nation? This is Coos coming to you once again with yet another episode of Coos' Corner, where I serve up college football and even a little college basketball content to you straight from the hills of wild and wonderful West Virginia. The last video I put out didn't age well. I put out the video about Art Briles being hired as offensive coordinator at Grambling. An hour or two later, he resigned from the job. So that video didn't age well, so I thought, you know what? I've had this video topic teed up for a few days now. Let's get it out to my audience, give them another video they can watch that actually is not outdated. I was scrolling through an article the other day written by a gentleman, I think his name's Anthony Del Treco. He's not a well-known writer, but he does put out some stuff online occasionally, and I saw something about the Big 12 not being known to play defense. And I'm thinking, you know what? I am so sick of hearing that. Anybody who watched the Big 12 play football in 2021 knows that's not true anymore. And heck, you can even go back to 2020 and it's not true. And I'll be honest, I think it really started around 2019. When you watch Big 12, the defenses started getting better in 2019 even, really. Statistically, they still were not up there with the other conferences. But you could see the tide shifting with defensive football in the Big 12 in 2019. 2020, you could actually put some statistics to back it up. And in 2021, you could definitely back it up. And I'm going to give you those statistics right now. Let's go to 2020. There's 10 teams in the Big 12. 6 of those teams finished in the top 50 in the FBS in total defense. That's 60% of the league finished in the top 50 out of 130 teams. West Virginia, my team, finished 4th in the country in total defense in 2020. That's right. West Virginia finished 4th in the country in total defense in 2020. 3 other Big 12 teams finished in the top 30 in total defense. They were Iowa State, Oklahoma, and TCU. West Virginia actually had the number 1 pass defense in the country in 2020. That's right, number 1 nationally in pass defense in 2020, the West Virginia Mountaineers. Then Iowa State and Oklahoma were both in the top 10 in rush defense in 2020. So 2 top 10, 20% of the league finished in the top 10 in rush defense. West Virginia had the best pass defense in the country, and 60% of the league finished in the top 50 in total defense. Now let's go to 2021, where it got even better on the defensive side of the football. First of all, you look at the Big 12 title game. Oklahoma State and Baylor, 2 really good defensive teams. Oklahoma State, statistically, one of the best defenses in the nation. 2021, 5 Big 12 teams finished in the top 40 in total defense. So half the league finished in the top 40. Oklahoma State and Iowa State were both top 10 in total defense in 2021, with Oklahoma State being 5th in the country. 5 of the Big 12 teams also finished top 50 in scoring defense. Oklahoma State and Baylor were both top 10 in those categories. And then 7 out of the 10 teams in the Big 12 finished in the top 50 in rush defense in 2021. Oklahoma State finished 5th in the country in that category as well. 70% of the league. There's 130 FBS teams. Basically, 7 teams finished in almost the top third of the country in rush defense. But yet all I hear is Big 12 doesn't play defense. Look, that narrative might have been true, 3, 4, 5 years ago, especially 10 years ago when these teams were putting up 60, 70 points a game to win. I get it. I understand it. We don't hide from that. We admit that. But we were sure fun to watch, were we not? But now the tide is flipping. The Big 12 is becoming more of a defensive conference. You look at all the defensive coordinators that have been brought in. Heck, Brent Venables, now the head coach at Oklahoma, is a defensive coordinator. So the tide is shifting. Even further evidence of that, you look at the individual performances from the Big 12. You look at the AP All-Americans from 2021 on the defensive side of the ball. First, second, third team. Big 12 had 5 of them. Not as much as the SEC or the Big 10, but it's as much as the Pac-12 and the ACC had combined. Third most in all Power 5 AP All-Americans on the defensive side. Jalen Pitre, safety from Baylor, first team All-American, also finished 7th in the country in tackles for loss. Malcolm Rodriguez, linebacker from Oklahoma State, second team All-American, sixth in the nation in total tackles. Then 3 third team All-Americans, Will McDonald, Nick Benito, Keenan Harvell-Peel. Will McDonald from Iowa State just so happened to finish 7th in the country in sacks. And then Nick Benito obviously is a linebacker from Oklahoma, and Keenan Harvell-Peel was a defensive back from Oklahoma State. So I feel like I've done a pretty good job of putting the narrative to bed that the Big 12 doesn't play defense on the gridiron. Watch Big 12 football games. You'll see for yourself that that is no longer the case. So it's time to put that narrative to bed and stop talking about it. Let me know in the comment section. Do you agree with me? Do you think the Big 12 football teams have now started playing better defense? Or do you think these last couple seasons were just a fluke and that we're going to go back to putting up 50, 60 points a game again in 2022? I want to hear your opinion on this. If you can, I ask that you please support my channel financially by joining my Patreon page or by joining my channel memberships through YouTube. You can hit that join button right below this video to do that. Patreon link is in the description. Both of those come with perks, by the way. I'm not just asking you for free money. I will give you something in return. I'd like to give a shout out right now to my first 2 channel members, Outlaw of College Football and Brent Jones. Thanks both of you guys for your support. And by the way, both of those guys have channels of their own. Go check out Outlaw of College Football and Boxing World on YouTube. And it's Boxing World, BOXING. Also, you can click the links in the description box to do your online shopping through Fanatics or through Amazon. Doesn't cost you any extra to do that. All you got to do is hit the links, get to the website, buy what you need. I get a small commission from the sale. If you're a sports bettor or an online gambler, use the BetUS link. I'm now affiliated with BetUS. Use the link there. That'll take you to the BetUS site. You can do your sports betting there. You can play some blackjack, play some poker, whatever it is you want to do online. As long as you use my link to get into the site, I'll make some commission from that. Matter of fact, if you use the code JOIN125 to sign up, you'll get an extra 125% credit towards your first bet. Another easy way to support me, just subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. Hit the thumbs up button on this video. Both of those things help the YouTube algorithm, and the comments also help. All those things will help my channel grow. I really appreciate you guys tuning into this video. And as always, Q Country Roads.